Hey there, Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival. And over the weekend, I've been putting a bunch of dried goods in for long-term food storage. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a quick video. I'm not going to go over all the steps, step by step, because, well, honestly, that's kind of all over the YouTube right now. But what I did is I started out with some sugar and some salt and some beans and some rice and quite a bit of bulk foods. And I moved most of them into Mylar bags with some oxygen absorbers. And these ones here I still have to do yet. They're in there. They're all labeled. Those are northern beans. And what I do is I use this sealer right here. Seal it up about 2/3 of the way. I leave a little opening to stick the oxygen absorber in each bag. Then I can take my time doing all the way up to that point. And then when I open up the oxygen absorbers, that's when I got to start moving kind of quick. And, I don't have to rush and make mistakes, but I'll drop, like in these instant potato slices, because there's so much air in there, I'll get 2 300 cc's. I'll put 2 of those in each one of those. And these are the potato slices. And then beans, like pinto beans, the Great Northern beans, those each would get 1. I'll seal them up. I'll just press as much air as out by hand as I can. Once I get the oxygen absorber in there, seal up the final end of it. Oh, there goes a dog. He won't stop barking. Anyway, so I'll take the bags, lay it on a flat surface at the table, and I'll push it as flat as I can before the oxygen absorber starts taking the air out, and that makes them easily storable and stackable and all that. So these were from yesterday. These are from today. So overnight, the rice will look like the beans. This sugar, granulated sugar, doesn't have a oxygen absorber in it. It has, where are they? I put in some, those are the 5-gallon that I use. These particular ones have the Ziploc on there, by the way. These are the 1 gallons. Oh, here they are. So in those, like in the sugar and the salt, I'll put in these, oops, dropped one here. Well, give me, I gotta zoom in on that one anyway. Whatever it's called, desiccant. But this is just a moisture absorber. So this will help get some of the moisture, or keep the moisture out. But we don't want to use an oxygen absorber because that'll just turn that into a brick. So that's sugar, cane sugar. And then another thing I'm trying is cane sugar in this little bin. I think this is a 3-gallon bin. I think it's like 27. So this might be 5. I don't know. But anyway, same thing here. If I do this again, I won't use a 5-gallon bag, because that seemed like a waste. Because it's only half of that bag is folded over. I'll probably, this one here is a 1 gallon, so I'd probably use 3 or 4 1-gallons to get as much on in here without wasting an expensive bag. This salt is a 5-gallon bag. Again, it's got the Ziplocs, so once you rip that open, start using it, you can always, close it back up in your, pantry. Also, when I'm using these oxygen absorbers, once you open that up, it's activated as soon as it gets oxygen. You want to get it back into an environment where there's no oxygen, right? So once I open that up and drop 2 in these, because there's a lot of extra room, so instant potato slices will get 2, the rice got 2, the beans got 1. Once I dropped 1 of these, or 2, depending on what it is, into those, I'll come over here and do the same thing I did here. So This is, I had one left from the last batch that I did. I have one of these already set up for my food saver, and I'll just throw what's left in here and then vacuum seal the remaining oxygen absorbers to keep them fresh and good for the next time, my next project. And you can also do the same thing with a mason jar, and I don't have the end in, it's in my pantry, but I have the attachment for the mason jars, wide or regular mouth. And you can just pretty much keep those, as long as they're stored without oxygen, pretty much indefinite. And I'm going to mention the rotation here. I put the date on virtually everything. All food gets a date, and that helps us rotate it. So I have stuff from a couple of years ago. I hate to admit it, from 5 or 6 years ago, probably, of beans and rice. So we're kind of, I probably won't do any more beans and rice for a while. But anyway, so this will be the last to be used, but I'll show you what I do with it when we do use it. So I'm back in, I'm in my pantry right now. So once we open up one of those buckets with the beans and rice and dry goods and stuff, we got them all over. We got these bins, yellow bins all over the place. Then I just put them in the pantry. And we use this on a regular basis. I don't go through the trouble of trying to remove the oxygen or the air from these. I don't seal them. We just use them. So this is our prepper pantry that we just come in and use. So we want, some black-eyed peas or some kidney beans, navy beans, pinto beans. Got beans galore, small red beans, got rice, coffee, cocoa, cornmeal, sugar, flour, all that stuff. We just pull it out and use it. Oh, also the vinegar and all that kind of stuff. This is stuff that we actually use. It's not for long term. Later on, because the table is just getting too much weight on it, I'll be doing some flour. And then this stuff here I'll probably just put, I might even leave it where it's at. But I put the date on everything, virtually everything. All the food in this pantry gets a date. Usually on top, I'll show you these ones here. All the canned goods, all the bags, all the boxes, everything gets a date. And that helps us rotate it. Some of that's the bulk stuff. And we put the dates on everything. If it's a case, like they'll say do not open, that's because that's for later. We already have that on the shelf, so I don't want anybody breaking open cases. But that helps us rotate our foods. And so that's what we got going on here, and then we move it to here. All right, I'll meet you back in the other room. So I'll finish up with just some other options. Like I mentioned, the salt and the sugar, I think I did. The rice, black-eyed peas, pinto beans, sugar. Well, I already said sugar. More pinto beans. Then some potato slices. Great northern beans. Some other options. This is from our pantry that we'll use, so I'm not going to try to do this for long-term food storage. I just brought these in to give you some ideas. My wife loves this 15 bean soup. Split peas. Green split peas. More rice. Some lentils. Some rolled oats, which I don't have in here. Stuff like that is ideal for this type of storage. And as you can see, you can get literally a ton of food stored in this method here. And it'll last for years and years. I hope you give it a try. Again, Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival. Stay safe.